There are various different exercises you can utilise at home to help train the horse and rider for effective riding cross-country. Here the use of offset rails is a very useful exercise and a great start for any young horse. Just learning how to work through a different line and working or changing the different number of strides you put in between, depending on how you approach the fence, the speed in which you approach the fence, but also the line you take. Sometimes using a pole on the floor just to go around or inside often helps you to micromanage that exercise. It's very important to think about what the horse does on landing as well as approach, and also its straightness and rhythm. With the horse working a little bit more freely and a bit more open, you're still allowing the horse to evaluate the fence itself and still make a good job of the jump itself. And taking a straighter line between two angled fences also trains the horse for the future. Making sure that the straightness of the horse and rider, their level and working through even if the fence is on a slight angle. Here we have some graphics of the same exercise and how we can utilise and change the way of riding it. In competition you can arrive in a different way, by taking the longer line and putting 4 strides in, as this horse has just done, or a more direct and faster route by just slightly angling them and taking the shortest route and taking 1 stride out, helps achieve the optimum time. Angled fences are also a great exercise that the horses learn to stay on a straight line even if the fences don't appear to be straight. This just helps the horses use the shoulders and their back in a different way and change their weight distribution. And assists with the agility of the horse. It also can help the rider adjust the number of strides they put in between each fence. Each time changing the speed you arrive is great. We see it again in graphical form. Same thing cross country. Ideally that horse would have been a little straighter to execute it really well. A good job done there. Working a horse to jump out of a stride, so just in your training, just by allowing the horses to travel a little bit more and evaluate the fence earlier and let them do the job of jumping themselves is what we need to do. So we're not always managing the take-off point of every horse. We need them to learn for themselves to come nice and easily from a rhythm and find their own and adjust their own stride. As we see here cross country in practice. Training to ride corners in the early stage is a great idea. Utilising a pole to help keep the horse in as a guiding pole to begin with, as we see there. And then progressing to remove the pole to simulate a corner in competition mode. Just coming and changing the direction and the speed in which you come to a corner, the angle you approach it from. But as the horse becomes more proficient, just opening the width of the corner. When training, you want to be sure to jump in the correct way. Dissect the angle between the front and back rail and make sure that your approach of the fence is at 90 degrees to that dissected angle. Always working that straight line before and after. Training horses over bounces at home is a great exercise and prepares the horse for the efforts of jumping cross country. Starting small and just encouraging a horse just to come to 2 bounces to start with and learn to find his way through. The key thing with jumping bounces is actually the miles per hour and the speed in which you arrive. Utilising the distance between 2 fences and training that distance, i.e. 4 yards, 12 feet or 3.6 metres. Most important thing, the horse learns to use its own head and neck through the exercise. Another exercise to consider is jumping skinnies, training young horses to come along and work their way through skinnies with the use of poles on the fence to start with. Taking it to the next level when the horse is happy to come with the poles just on the floor. Confidence is key with this type of exercise and with any. And then moving on with no poles at all and just see if the horse learns to come. The horse hasn't changed its attitude at all, which is great that the horse is maintaining its confidence and finds what we sometimes think is difficult. The horse actually seems very confident about it. Building up to a double of 2 skinnies where the horse doesn't believe there's any difference in whatever's happening. Great start. Then we're taking it to the next level where the horse can still, at a higher level, come with that confidence and work through without any problems whatsoever. Taking oxes to a skinny is the next stage, where the horse learns to come a little bit more forward, over a fence before with a slightly bigger canter and dealing with the skinny afterwards. Again using poles. So from the first clip we saw the horse just a little bit crooked on its way in, so straightness is key and bringing it back because the horse ran out, using a pole on one side of the fence just to help maintain that straightness even if he's made a mistake. Always repeat an exercise if the horse doesn't understand it fully until it's simple enough the horse feels it's easy, they stay straight and they do the exercise without problem. The next stage is to take it where you just offset the skinny afterwards. It's like curving lines, so the horse works its way through and stays straight and takes on that skinny without question. So when you go to competition, it's easy and seamless.